What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA and college basketball action here on Wednesday, February 4th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game. We're going to break down the biggest college basketball games of the night. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So as a huge thank you to me, who am still way under the weather here doing this recording, slam that like button. It does a ton to help get the videos promoted out there across YouTube and really helps show me your appreciation for the work that I'm putting in here every single solitary day. Also, guys, take that 10th of a second and check below, see if you are subscribed to the channel. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers this year. Let's make that happen. I cannot do it without you, so check below and see if you are subscribed to the channel. Big shout out to all the new subscribers we've been getting. A lot have been rolling in here recently. Definitely make sure that you're getting down in the comments. Let me know anything that you are seeing across the sports world, any questions you have for me about college basketball, NBA, any of the major sports. I can definitely get back to you. And if I don't have the answer, I can always reach out to the premium cappers over there at stumpthespread.com and help get the answer that you're looking for. So definitely get down there in the comments and make sure you're getting in the comments and checking the pinned comment every single day. That's the top comment right below the video. That's where you will find my favorite picks from the video on a daily basis. So definitely make sure you're checking that pinned comment a couple times throughout the day, just in case there's any changes. With the NBA trade deadline, all that kind of stuff going on, big changes could be coming. You never know. In terms of a recap, guys, we only had 4 games in the pinned comment yesterday. Got off to a rough start there with the Bulls at -2.5. Chicago being involved in a big trade wasn't necessarily something I saw coming tonight. And so that wasn't ideal timing. Also, Milwaukee shot an absurd 61% from 3. You can't win an NBA game when your opponent's doing that. We still got the Suns live at -4.5. We did cash our dog of the day and our massive lock of the day. We had Denver +4.5. A great shooting night from the Pistons does help Detroit eventually get the win, but the Nuggets get the cover for us behind huge nights from both Jokic and Murray. That's kind of what you would expect. If Denver's going to have a good night, you're going to need those two playing well, and they had a chance to knock off one of the best teams in the East. We cashed the Lakers on the money line or against the spread as our massive lock of the day. Either way, you got a comfortable win. The Lakers come out on top 125-109. LeBron and Luka both played well. Austin Reeves put up 15 in only 21 minutes. Going to be interesting to see what this team does heading towards the trade deadline, but in this one, things looked pretty freaking good. Now, guys, let's go ahead and get after it. We got a bunch of NBA games to cover, lots of stuff going on around the trade deadline. Got a bunch of college basketball games to cover as well, so make sure you've slammed that thumbs up button. Make sure you've commented down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And, get over to stumpthespread.com, check out everything over there, and let's go ahead and dive in. First up, we've got our first ESPN game of the night. We've got the Denver Nuggets heading to New York to take on the Knicks. Denver comes into this game fresh off that 124-121 loss there in Detroit, which, we were on Denver getting 4.5, so we weren't too sad to see them lose that game as long as they kept it close enough, and they definitely did a pretty nice showing out there from both Jokic and Jamal Murray, so they put in some good minutes, they put in some good production. It just wasn't quite enough there in the end. Valanciunas did have 11 points off the bench, and the bench actually played pretty well. Christian Brown did come back and play in this one, but only had 6 points in 26 minutes. Jalen Pickett had a rough night. Peyton Watson did not shoot the ball particularly well, and it just wasn't quite enough there in the end. So we'll see what the Nuggets can get done here playing on back-to-back nights. Obviously, we don't have a fully updated injury report, but we do, generally speaking, expect them to be pretty close to fully healthy. Aaron Gordon obviously will not be available, but other than that, this is starting to look more like the full-strength Nuggets here as they head to Madison Square Garden to take on the Knicks, who are also playing this game on no rest. They're coming off a 132-101 walkover win there in Washington. So they played in Washington. Now they got to fly home and play in New York tonight. So we'll see how things go. They're on a 7-game winning streak after that. Players-only meeting. So it seems like things are, have been adjusted the way they needed to be. Cat's playing pretty well, although definitely seems like there's some weird tension between him and some of his teammates. Jalen Brunson putting in good numbers, doing a good job sharing the ball, although only 4 assists in that win. Josh Hart playing really well, and the bench putting up big production. So that's all great, but when that's happening against the Wizards, it's not exactly time to start freaking out. The injury report looks okay. Obviously, this is not fully updated either, and we worry about Miles McBride and Mitchell Robinson. Missing some bench depth there might be a little bit concerning here for the Knicks. We'll have to wait and see on that, though. The Knicks are 5.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 226.5. Denver, they're 17-9 against spread on the road, 7-3 against the spread on no rest this season. The Knicks are 18-8 against the spread at home, 3-4 against the spread on no rest. Guys, I think this could be where the winning streak ends here for the Knicks. I don't think they're built to handle what the Nuggets can throw at them. I think we see a bounce back night here from Denver as long as Denver is healthy for this game. So keep a close eye on the injury report. Obviously, Denver played a much tougher game than the Knicks played their last time out. So fatigue is going to be a concern here, but it's not a great travel spot for either team. So give me the Nuggets here getting those 5.5 points. Next on the dock, we look at the Minnesota Timberwolves heading to Toronto to take on the Raptors. Lots of trade talk swirling around the Timberwolves still. We'll see. Apparently, they're very in the midst of the whole Giannis trade situation, so we'll see if anything crazy happens there. They're coming off a 137-128 loss in Memphis, so not exactly a fantastic showing there. Ant did put up 39 points. Jaden McDaniels had 29, so some good production there, but pretty weak showing from Julius Randle, who is probably nervous about being on the trade block. So we'll see what happens with this team down the stretch. We do see Ant and Randle both on the injury report. Ant questionable due to left elbow soreness. That's a little bit weird, and Julius Randle dealing with the thumb issue is also listed as questionable here as they head to Toronto to take on the Raptors. They have not been incredibly heavily, in the rumor mill recently. We'll see what happens. They're coming off a 107-100 win over the Jazz. Not exactly an amazing win, but a win nonetheless. At 30-21 on the year, the Raptors have been pretty decent, so they definitely deserve, some credit here. RJ Barrett played pretty well in that win over the Jazz. Brandon Ingram, not the best shooting night. Scotty Barnes, very effective out there. Quickly played well. Also, this team has looked really good. The bench has been a little bit of a concern, and it feels like they're missing a premier level big man. So we'll see if they make any sort of serious moves here. They are fully healthy coming into this game, so that should definitely help. They're 1.5 point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 224.5. Minnesota is 12-14 against spread on the road, 10-9 against spread after a loss. Toronto is 9-16 against spread at home, 15-14 against spread after a win. I do like the Raptors here at -1.5. I can't justify putting this in the pinned comment because they're just not a very good team when playing at home. That being said, I have to at least consider it because of all the trade stuff going on with the Timberwolves right now. So keep a very close eye on this one. Might not be a bad idea to throw a little bit on the Raptors here, just under the impression that maybe some weird thing could happen here with the Timberwolves guys all being in their heads about potentially getting traded. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Boston Celtics heading to Houston to take on the Rockets. The Celtics, interesting stuff going on with them. They've won their last 3 in a row. They're coming off a nice 10-point win there in Dallas. So everything going the way they needed it to go there. Jaylen Brown playing great, 33 points from him, 26 off the bench from Peyton Pritchard, a big deal there. So a lot of solid stuff there from Boston, and they have been very active in the trade market, guys. No more Anthony Simons coming off the bench here. We are going to be seeing Nikola Vucevic, though. A big move picking up Vuce. We'll see how this works out, him coming over from the Bulls. Pretty interesting. Definitely felt like the Celtics needed a big man in there. We'll see if he can, fill the void there. We'll see when he is able to make his debut for this team. It does not seem likely that it would be for this game, though. So they'll be without him for this one, but down the stretch could be pretty interesting to see Vooch there in the Celtics green. Now, the Houston Rockets have not been heavily involved in a bunch of trade talks. It doesn't seem like, at least. They've won 5 out of their last 6. They're coming off a 4-point win in Indiana. That was definitely a lot tougher game than they would have hoped it would be. Sengun put up 39. Obviously, they had no KD in that one. Nobody having a great time off the bench. This team could really use an upgrade on there on the bench. They only won this game because they were able to dominate there on the boards, and they're not going to be able to do that against everyone necessarily. Now, looking at the injury report, Kevin Durant is on there. Sounds like he is probable with his ankle issue, so it sounds like he will be able to go, very likely. Dorian Finney-Smith on the injury report as well. He's officially out for this game. Now, the Rockets are 5.5 point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 216.5. Boston 15-10 against spread on the road, 5-3 against spread on no rest. Houston 8-13 against spread at home, 12-18 against the spread after a win. Guys, I don't think I can back the Rockets even in this spot. If KD comes back, I think that's great. I think that helps them, but the Celtics are a tough out. They could have a big shooting night that could put them over the top here. Definitely give me the Celtics here getting 5.5 points, albeit as a small lean. Hey guys, before we jump in and break down the New Orleans Pelicans heading to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks, we got to shout out the sponsor today in every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, premium members over there at StumpTheSpread.com are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, in college basketball picks. Coming off a nice day over there on the college basketball side, going 2-1. Still got action live on the NBA side, still got action live on the NHL side, so lots still cooking over there, but cashed a huge underdog there on Boston College plus 26.5. That was a pretty nice lean there with Duke, definitely in a big look-ahead spot with their showdown against the Tar Heels looming coming up this weekend. So definitely get over there and check out everything offered at stumpthespread.com there for the premium members. And keep in mind, I'm not the premium handicapper over there at stumpthespread.com. We have a team of experts. So a lot of times what you see here in the videos is not going to match what you see over there in the premium section. Definitely a crazy amount of work being put into those premium picks on a daily basis. We've got a team of experts over there. Every single one of them has over a decade's worth of experience covering this given sport. So definitely get in the mix over there at stumpthespread.com and the premium stuff, but also check out all the free stuff we offer. That's a great way to sample what it would be like to be a premium member. Check out the free picks under the free picks tab. Definitely good information there every single day, and amazing information in that free email newsletter, guys. It's very easy to sign up for that newsletter. Just go to stumpthespread.com, set up a free account. They're going to ask for your name and your email address. That's it. You get one email straight to your inbox every single day, jam-packed with great sports betting information. There'll be regular free picks, but there'll also be massive write-ups on golf every single week. PGA season gotten off to an amazing start. You can see what we've been cashing here from those emails. It's been absolutely insane. A 33-1 cash, guys. You don't see that every single day. That is that's generational right there. That can really turn some things around for some people. So definitely get on that free email newsletter. It's a fantastic resource, and those come straight from our premium handicappers as well. So definitely make sure that you are not missing out on that. Also, head over to stumpthespread.com and check out our hoodies. If you're interested in picking up a hoodie, they are live for purchase there under the shop tab. We're selling them at cost right now, $40 and free shipping. They can get to you in as little as a week. So definitely take advantage of that if you're looking to pick up a hoodie. And guys, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from me here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but more importantly, they get access to our members-only giveaways. And here in a couple days, when we're a little bit less under the weather, we're going to do not one, but 2 hoodie giveaways to YouTube channel members. You just have to be, if you're a YouTube channel member, your name will be on the wheel. We put a big wheel up on the screen, spin it live on the video. We're going to spin that wheel 2 times, and whoever it lands on is going to get a Stump the Spread hoodie of their size mailed straight to their address of choice. So definitely take advantage of that, guys, if you are interested in becoming a YouTube channel member. Big shout out to all the YouTube channel members, guys. Make sure you've hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you've gotten over to stumpthespread.com and you're checking out everything over there. And now let's go ahead and dive back in. We got lots more NBA to cover. We've got lots more college basketball to cover. And next up, we're looking at the New Orleans Pelicans heading to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks. The Pelicans are a team I feel like should be much more motivated to be active here around the trade deadline, but it doesn't seem like they're that motivated. Seems like they really want to hang on to basically all of their even semi-decent players that anybody would be interested in. So things may just continue to spiral for them. They've lost the last 2 in a row, losing at the Hornets and at the 76ers. Now they're going to head to Milwaukee. We'll see what they can do. Obviously, they've got to be pretty pumped with what they've been getting from Zion recently. Like, he's been playing pretty well, although his game there against Charlotte did not go great. Trey Murphy's been playing well. Sadiq Bey's played well. But this team just does not have enough to be getting a lot of wins. They do come into this game fully healthy, so we'll see if that results in a lot of positives. But I struggle to find this team, a very compelling one. We'll see what they do here on the road, though, against the Milwaukee Bucks, who are in a terrible spot. They are coming off a 131-115 win there over the Bulls, who are in the midst of making a big trade. The Bucks, though, have been pretty awful. No Giannis. He's demanded that trade. We'll see if anybody gets moved along with him whenever that eventually happens. They've been dealing with some injuries as well. Kevin Porter Jr. and Gary Harris missing time. Bobby Portis is now on the injury report. He's dealing with a hip issue, and he's out for this game, or was out for that game against the Bulls. I guess we'll have to wait and see if he's out for this one as well. That could be an indication that he could be getting traded to. Who knows what's going to go on with that. Now, the Bucks are getting 4.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 222.5. The Pelicans are 12-13 against spread on the road, 20-17-1 against spread after a loss. Milwaukee is 8-13 against spread at home. They are 3-3 against spread playing on no rest. So we'll see if that comes in to play in this one at all. I will be leaning towards the Pelicans here at -4.5 just because the Bucks have so much craziness going on right now, but I don't think I can reasonably put this one in the pinned comment. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Oklahoma City Thunder heading to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. This is our second nationally televised game of the day. This is going to be on ESPN, and that makes sense to me. These two teams are giving us some of the best games this season. The Thunder come into this one 40-11 on the year. They're fresh off of a 128-92 blowout win there over the Magic. Hartenstein puts up a triple-double in the win. So, very well played there. SGA was questionable coming into this game. He ended up playing. Did not shoot the ball particularly well. Also didn't get to the free throw line a ton, but that did not matter. Very, very monster production there from Hartenstein. Although, 12, 10, and 10. He barely made it to a triple-double. But still, very good work there. Isaiah Joe had a monster performance. Great shooting night from him. And the bench came up huge there for the Thunder. So we'll see if they can keep that rolling here as they go on the road. Obviously, they're playing on no rest, so not a super updated injury report. We do not believe that Jalen Williams, that J-Dub will be back for this game. That's not 100% confirmed, but I would be pretty surprised. AJ Mitchell has also been missing time. He's dealing with that abdominal strain. I also do not believe that he will be available for this one either, as they head to San Antonio to take on the Spurs, who at 33-16 on the season have to be feeling pretty good about life. They're coming off a 112-103 win there over the Magic. Wemby played really well in that game. He had 25. We liked what we saw pretty much in general. The bench looked pretty good. Dylan Harper had 15. Keldon Johnson had 14. Devin Vassell played well, a decent shooting night there from De'Aaron Fox, although he was 0 of 3 from 3 and failed to get to the free throw line a single time. That is not a good thing. We'll see what this team can do down the stretch. They dominated the boards in this one, and now they get another crack at taking down the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're very obvious, rivals out there in the NBA. Now, the injury report here looks like we might have some interesting developments coming. Stephon Castle is officially questionable for this game with that thigh issue. He hasn't played since January 31st. We'll see if he comes back and plays in this one. That would be a pretty nice it would be nice to have him out there, for the Spurs. That would be a big, big deal. Other than that, San Antonio is fully healthy. They're getting 2.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 225.5. The Thunder are 12-12 against spread on the road, 1-6 this season against spread on no rest. The Spurs are 12-10-1 against spread at home, 14-16-2 against spread after a win. I love the Spurs here getting 2.5. You can take them on the money line as well. I don't have a problem with that. This is an excellent spot to back San Antonio. They could be our dog of the day. I'm a little bit surprised to see them getting points here maybe, but I'm not too worried about that. The Thunder in a bit of a letdown spot. SGA might be a little bit banged up. Definitely give me the Spurs here playing at home. Heading into our last couple of NBA games, before we hop over and look at that college basketball slate, we got the Memphis Grizzlies going on the road to take on the Sacramento Kings. The Grizzlies obviously involved in a very big trade. They are coming off that 137-128 win there over the Timberwolves, but the big news for them is moving on from Jaren Jackson Jr. Pretty crazy stuff. We'll see, how everything develops down the stretch with all these new guys they're bringing in. Obviously, none of them are going to be available for this game. We don't expect Santi Aldama or Scottie Pippen Jr. to be ready to go, so kind of a skeleton crew here for the Grizzlies. We'll see what they do moving forward, if there are any more moves coming, but things are not looking great in terms of Memphis being a very competitive team down the stretch this season. We'll see what they can do in Sacramento taking on the Kings, who at 12-39 on the season have been one of the worst squads in the NBA. They're coming off a 4-point loss there against the Wizards. Obviously, Sacramento is a team that could be involved in lots of trades. Zach LaVine kind of showing he could be a valuable piece, coming off a 35-point game there, but it was in a loss. DeMar DeRozan putting up big numbers as well. He had 32. Those are two guys that I think could change things for a lot of teams. Will that happen? We will have to wait and see. The Kings come into this game looking relatively healthy. Sabonis is another guy that could be involved in a trade. He's dealing with a back issue and is listed as questionable for this game. The Kings are 2.5 point favorites here at home. We got a total of 228.5. Memphis, they're 9-12 against spread on the road, 6-12 against spread after a win. The Kings are 10-15 against spread at home, 13-25 against spread after a loss. I don't like backing either one of these teams. This is mostly going to be a pass for me. I do think there are guys that will play hard on both sides for this game, so maybe a little look at the over could be appropriate. In terms of a side, I'll take Memphis, maybe some desperation plays from some of these guys or something like that, but overall, this is a massive stay away spot for me. Next up, in a very interestingly timed matchup, we're looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers going on the road to take on the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, the Cavs and Clippers just made a big trade, basically swapping Harden for Darius Garland. We'll see how that works out for these two. The Cavaliers, 30-21 on the season. They're coming off a 130-111 win over the Trailblazers. Cleveland's been a pretty disappointing team this season overall. They've also been dealing with an injury recently to Evan Mobley. They had kind of turned things around, but Garland, apparently his lack of availability had become very frustrating to them. I am also a little bit weirded out. I don't know how James Harden and Donovan Mitchell are really supposed to, there's only one basketball, guys. I don't know how these two are going to handle that. Being on the table, being on the court at the same time seems a little bit messy. We'll see. I don't expect Harden to be available for this game, so I would assume Cleveland's starting lineup looks like something like Schroeder, Donovan Mitchell, Dean Wade, and Jarrett Allen for the time being. Jalen Tyson could also slot in there as a potential starter. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Clippers. It's going to be very interesting to see what this Clippers team looks like after they've been very, very good, but they are coming off a 128-113 loss there against the 76ers. We do see, Kawhi healthy and ready to go for this game. John Collins ready to go. Obviously, Darius Garland will not be available yet for this game. Still getting over there, getting, acclimated and stuff like that. So we'll see. Maybe the fit of Garland and Kawhi together could be a good one. I actually like this trade a lot more for the Clippers than I like it for the Cavaliers, so I'm being completely honest. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on there in terms of the numbers for this game. The Clippers are getting 1.5 right now. We've got a total of 223.5. Cleveland, they're 11-12 against spread on the road, 11-18 against spread after a win. The Clippers are 11-12 against spread at home, 12-13 against the spread after a loss. This kind of feels like it's going to be just the Kawhi show for a little bit while he's kind of out there by himself. Derrick Jones Jr. being back is definitely helpful. This is another one of this is a very, very tough spot. In general, I'm going to lean a little bit towards the Cavaliers on the road. I think they're maybe a slightly deeper team, and I think they might be a little bit less bothered by the whole trade shakeup, but once again, guys, not a big lean for me either way on this one. Now, guys, hopping over to look at a few of the biggest college basketball games on the slate here on February 4th. We've got the Seton Hall Pirates heading to Villanova to take on the Wildcats out there in the Big East. Now, Seton Hall, they're 16-6 on the season. They're 6-5 in Big East play. They've bounced back a little bit. They've won 2 in a row, including a 86-68 blowout win there over Xavier and a 69-64 very narrow win there over Marquette. So we'll see what they can do here. This is their second time this season facing Villanova. They lost the first one 64-56, and they've been playing great coming into that game. So we'll see if they've got a little bounce back in them here. This team is not necessarily elite offensively, but their defensive numbers are fantastic. Giving up 64.2 points per game is going to keep you in a lot of games. Their rebounding numbers are also pretty solid. They do kind of lack a go-to leading scorer, which can be a bit of a problem down the stretch, especially in close games. So we'll see what goes on in this one as they head to Villanova. The Wildcats are 16-5 on the year. They're 7-3 in conference play. They're fresh off an 87-73 win there over Providence. Really took care of business against at minimum, an elite level offensive opponent. They had already beaten Providence once this year as well. We'll see what they can do against Seton Hall in their 64-56 win at Seton Hall earlier this season. Very, very solid stuff. They shoot 43% from three and do a good job having a little edge there on the board. Seton Hall really struggled shooting the ball in that game, so Villanova will be looking to replicate as much of that as they can. Bryce Lindsey's their leading scorer, but 14 points per game, shooting 40% from the field isn't all that special. This team can struggle a little bit on the glass. They're a good defensive team, maybe not at the same level as Seton Hall. So looking at the numbers, I'm a little bit surprised to see Villanova 7.5-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 134.5. Seton Hall is 5-1 against the spread on the road this season. Villanova is 7-5 against the spread at home. Guys, I'm going to be taking Seton Hall here, getting 7.5 points. I think they're live to get the bounce back and, win in this matchup. Now, that might be a little bit big to ask, but with two kind of defensive-minded teams, neither one of them is going to run up the score that much. I do think we could see a very close, very low-scoring game. I'm not that interested in the under, but I definitely think getting 7.5 points here with the Seton Hall Pirates is worth a look. Next on the dock, we're looking at the ACC. We've got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish heading to Louisville to take on the number 24 Cardinals. Now, Notre Dame, maybe some signs of life earlier in the season, but they're 2-7 in ACC play now. They're coming off a loss against Syracuse. They did beat Boston College, but they had their chance to really knock off number 17 Virginia, but couldn't quite make that happen. Jalen Harrelson, he is a monster. 15 points per game, 50% from the field, putting up some assists and stuff too. That's all great, but this is not an elite level offensive team, ranking 278th in the nation in total points per game. Their rebounding numbers are a little bit promising. I do like some of what they can do on the glass, so we'll see what they can do here. This is a big step for a big opportunity for them to potentially try and start building something of a resume here, but it's getting to be a little bit late in the season, and we haven't seen a ton that we love here from Notre Dame. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against Louisville. The Cardinals are 15-6 on the season, only 5-4 in ACC play. They're coming off an 88-74 win there over SMU. A very solid win, I will say that. They couldn't really keep things competitive at Duke the game before that. They have Wake Forest on deck, so not really a big look-ahead spot. Ryan Conwell does figure to be the best player on the floor in this game. That should definitely help. They're 27th in the nation total offense, 39th in total rebounding. This is a team that likes to get out and run. They're going to put up some big numbers on you and see if you can keep up. That's part of the reason they are 17.5-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 155.5. Notre Dame, they're 4-3 against the spread on the road. Louisville, they're 8-5 against the spread at home. This is a little bit of a tough spot. That is a lot of points, but with no look ahead here in play, I do think we see Louisville absolutely blow the doors off of Notre Dame here and win this one by 20 plus. They just have too much. Notre Dame, not a great road team. Maybe, the Fighting Irish really show up and try to keep this one competitive, but I just can't wrap my head around that in this spot. Next up, guys, we're back in the Big East. We're looking at the Butler Bulldogs heading to Providence to take on the Friars. Butler, they're 13-9 on the season. They're 4-7 in conference play. They're fresh off a 77-64 loss against Georgetown. They were at home for that game too, so not exactly a great look. I mean, we'll see what they can do here, but it's been a rough season for Butler. Finley Bizjack is a decent leading scorer. We like that. They're 81st in the nation total offense, and their rebounding numbers look okay, but their defense is really not very good. I mean, they gave up 77 points to Georgetown, gave up 92 in a 22-point loss there at St. John's, and now they got to go on the road. They are taking on a Providence team that they did beat earlier this season. That was a home game for Butler, and I think that went into at least one, if not two, overtimes, and Providence, does take the 3-point loss, so we'll see if Butler can replicate any of that, but that could be a little bit tough here because Providence, despite being only 2-9 in conference play and 9-13 on the season, they've been giving some tough teams a run for their money. They played a very competitive game once again against UConn. They did lose their last time out, falling at Villanova 87-73. That was not a great effort, but they're 17th in the nation total offense. Like, they get up and down and they put the ball in the basket. Jalen Sellers is a monster, could be the best player on the floor in this game. I think that's honestly pretty likely. Their rebounding numbers are good. Their defensive numbers are bad. Don't get me wrong. They're just not a very good defensive team, but this is definitely a big revenge spot for them, and they got to find a way to start putting together some wins if they want to have any chance at building a tournament resume here. So looking at the numbers, Providence, they're 3.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 170.5. Butler, 3-3 against the spread on the road. Providence, 6-5 against the spread at home. Guys, I will be taking the Providence Friars here at -3.5. Big revenge spot for them after losing in this matchup earlier this season. I think they're the better offensive team, and I think that's going to be what ends up being important in this specific matchup. Butler can do some stuff, don't get me wrong, but playing here on the road, I just don't really see it. Not like it's a look-ahead spot or anything like that, but Butler hasn't been great on the road. Give me Providence here playing at home. Now we're headed out to the SEC. We've got the Texas A&M Aggies going on the road to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, Texas A&M, they're 17-4 on the season. They're coming off a fourth straight win. They went into Georgia and just blew them out, winning 92-77. So very, very good work there. We'll see what they can do against the Crimson Tide here, but this Aggie squad has been playing really, really well. They're 5th in the nation total offense. They're a solid rebounding team. They actually play some defense as well, which is nice. They do have a couple tough games coming up. They go to Alabama, then they host number 17 Florida. But I'm not really worried about this being any sort of look-ahead spot. They got to be locked in for every single one of these games here down the stretch. So I'm expecting good stuff here from the Aggies. We'll see what they can do here on the road. Now, this is not necessarily the easiest road spot, but they are taking on a Crimson Tide team that has not lived up to expectations this season. They're coming off a loss there at number 19 Florida. They lose that one 100-77. Failing to keep things that close. This team is packed with talent, don't get me wrong. They're 10th in the nation total offense. They like to get out and run. Their rebounding numbers look good. All that kind of stuff. All the things you would expect from an up-tempo team. But they're just not finding the success that they need to justify the preseason predictions for them. It's been a little bit rough. We'll see what they can do in this one. This is a big home game for them. They face Texas A&M, then Auburn, then Ole Miss, then South Carolina. So they've got some Very winnable games coming up, but 4-4 in SEC play is not what was supposed to be going on for the Crimson Tide. All that being said, they are 7.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 179.5. Texas A&M is 5-1 against the spread playing on the road this year. Alabama is 4-6 against the spread at home. I will be taking the Texas A&M Aggies here, getting those points playing on the road. Alabama's been a huge disappointment. I just can't back them with any kind of clear conscience here. The Aggies have been so good on the road. They honestly might be our dog of the day. It just seems like very, very good value here on Texas A&M against an Alabama squad that just has not really impressed me. Round into the home stretch here, guys. We're looking at the Northwestern Wildcats going on the road to take on the number 5 Illinois Fighting Illini. Northwestern is only 10-12 on the season. They're 2-9 out there in Big Ten play, so it's been a little bit rough. They're coming off a 76-62 loss, and that was a home game for them against Washington. That was a letdown after a big win over Penn State, but the wins have been few and far between this season. I mean, Nick Martinelli's putting up great season-long numbers. It'll be very interesting to see him, I would assume, in the NBA next season, but being 203rd in the nation in total offense and 374th in total rebounding is not really going to be a recipe for success, especially not when you're playing the ultra-competitive Big Ten. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road. Got a pretty tough opponent coming up, taking on the number 5 Illinois Fighting Illini. They're fresh off a 78-69 win there at number 5 Nebraska. Very good work there. It might be a bit of a look-ahead spot for the Fighting Illini, guys. They do have a trip to number 10 Michigan on deck. Keaton Wrangler's been a monster, 18 points, 4.5 assists per game. This is an elite-level offensive team, an elite-level rebounding team, and their defensive numbers are also very, very good. They've got some big wins over some big teams. They've taken down Tennessee this year. Obviously, that win over Nebraska looks good. They've beaten Iowa. They've beaten Purdue. This is an elite level team, and that's why they're 15.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 151.5. Northwestern is 2-3-1 against the spread on the road. Illinois is 7-5 against the spread at home. This is an awful lot of points, guys. If this was more like 17, but also at Northwestern in a matchup earlier this season, we saw Illinois only win by 11, and that was with no look-ahead spot looming. So we are going to lean a bit towards Northwestern here, getting all of those points. I don't think this play will make it into the pinned comment, but I would understand anybody that did want to get, significantly involved in this one, because the Wildcats have already shown they can keep this thing competitive, and Illinois has that look-ahead spot up, and 15.5. That is a lot of points. Last but not least, guys, we're headed back to the SEC. We've got the Oklahoma Sooners going on the road to take on the Kentucky Wildcats. Now, Oklahoma is only 11-11 on the season. They're 1-8 in SEC play. They're coming off a tough 79-69 loss against Texas. They played a very close game against Arkansas the other day, losing that one by 4. Lost by 1 at Mizzou. I mean, this team has just played a slew of incredibly competitive games against some very, very tough opponents. They have not faced Kentucky yet this season. That has to be said. Nigel Pack leads the way for this team. 16 points, 46% from the field. Very, very good numbers. This is a solid offensive team. Their rebounding numbers aren't bad. Their defense could use a little work potentially, but they've kept things so close against such good teams that I even struggle to say that they have like these big weaknesses. They're really a pretty solid squad. Kentucky, they've had a little bit more success in the SEC. They're 6-3 overall in conference play. They're coming off an 85-77 win over Arkansas. That was a big win. This team is in the top 100 nationally in total offense. That number has started to come up a little bit. The defense is not elite. The rebounding is okay, but also not what I would term as elite. So we'll see what they can do. They're coming off one of their bigger wins of the season. Obviously, they've got a few big wins under their belts, but they do have a big look-ahead spot here. After they face Oklahoma, they face Tennessee and then Florida. So some big games brewing here for the Wildcats. We'll see if they can stay locked in here. They could, that's a little bit of a big ask. They are 9.5-point favorites here at home. We got a total of 153.5. Oklahoma is 2-3 against the spread on the road this year. Kentucky is 6-8 against the spread at home. This is a little bit of a tough spot, but once again, guys, 9.5 points is just too much for me in a look-ahead spot here. Give me the Oklahoma Sooners to find a way to have another very competitive conference game. Do I think they could steal this one and win straight up? Maybe. That seems like an awfully big ask, but I do think this is a game that will definitely come down to the last couple of possessions, and getting nearly double-digit points is just too good to pass. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Do me a big favor and hit that like button. Help keep me grinding these videos out, even though I am way under the weather. Really appreciate all of you. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Let's help me make that happen. Big shout out to all the new subscribers. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you I'm going to be very, very active in those comments here going forward. I appreciate everybody watching these videos, and make sure you click the link in the description. Get over there to stumpthespread.com and check out all the great stuff we offer over there. The premium picks are definitely chugging right along, doing very, very well, and you got to check out those free picks. And you got to get on that free email newsletter, guys. Those golf picks, honestly, they've been so red hot. They may end up behind the paywall there, may become premium picks before you know it, because it's just been such insane value. We'll see you guys right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.